Hello, everyone. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. Coming up, we're going to talk about the blizzard-like conditions that are expected to develop here in a mere moments as we go into the overnight hours. Gusty winds will hit 50 miles per hour for some. Snow will blow. Light snow will fall. The latest in your forecast coming up right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, here is an update as we head to bed. Now 9:20 is the current time. We still have that winter storm watch in effect for the Devil's Lake Basin, the Grand Forks area, all of our western Minnesota counties from Fargo straight up to the international border in Kitson County. That winter storm watch is the area where we have the greatest concern about the wind combining with some light snow and us having cold enough temperatures to cause this wind to pick up lofted snow and create near zero visibilities in places. And that's more like a ground blizzard than a true blizzard because we're not expecting heavy snowfall with this system. Nonetheless, very dangerous travel conditions are going to be most possible in this area. Now, likely the watch that you see here tonight will be upgraded at some point in certain counties to reflect where the conditions are expected to be the worst. And I'll show you where Hutch is thinking here in just a minute. Winter weather advisories in purple surround these counties: Minot, Bismarck, Jamestown, and down into Richland County for the Fergus Falls area. Grant County for you folks in Elbow Lake, straight up through the eastern reaches of Polk County, Thief River, and Red Lake counties, all the way up into your area of Roseau County. That's a winter weather advisory. Some wind, some snow, and some wintry travel conditions are likely there. Now, we do have wind advisories as we look off into parts of South Dakota and much of Minnesota. And behind Hutch's melon here, winter storm warnings in and around the Great Lakes, northern Michigan and the UP, northern parts of Wisconsin, and the North Shore there, expecting some ridiculous winds and snowfall potential with the storm system. That's already taken place in some regards. So as we take you in just a little bit closer, on the map here, you can kind of identify some areas that are in different kinds. Again, the light blue, this is the winter storm watch. A watch means we're watching it. We're trying to determine what areas are going to have the greatest risk for seeing that inclement weather when it comes to the combination of wind and snow. Here's two things to know. Number one, not a lot of trees in North Dakota. As we get into Minnesota, the trees help slow down those wind gusts. So the greatest wind gusts are going to be right down, rolling through the Red River Valley and the James River Valley as well. Now, as new model data is coming in right now, we'll share that with you to get you the absolute latest with regards to those isobars and where the wind is going to be, well, in a doggone hurry as we go into the overnight hours here. So let's take a peek at the latest model, which is just now coming in. And I got to tell you what, the snow showers are really adding up to some terrible roads already in parts of the Arrowhead of Minnesota. More on the road conditions here shortly. But as we take a peek at your hour-by-hour forecast, here's the low-pressure center. Here's the warm front. That warm air from our neck of the woods is blowing right up over the top of what's going on here in parts of Minnesota. Now, as we lift that air over the colder dome of air up here in the north, it's squeezing out some drizzle drops, some freezing drizzle drops, and some snowflakes heading into northern parts of Minnesota. Now, as we advance this into time, let's go ahead and show you that the isobars will really get closer together as we head into, boom, right here, as we go into the wee hours of the overnight. So generally, midnight and beyond, these winds will really start kicking. We're going to have bands of light snow, but they'll be very light as the cold front advances southward overnight. Temperatures in places like Fargo and Richland County will be steady to slowly rising as we go through the overnight hours, as a matter of fact. And then the cold air will begin its push in first thing in the morning. So morning temperatures will be as warm as many of us see all day long as we go into your hump day on Wednesday. Now watch where the isobars are the closest together here, and downwind from any open water, downwind from areas without trees and river valleys like the James River Valley, Cheyenne River Valley, as well as the Red River Valley. That's where some of these wind gusts will be pretty terrible as we continue through the overnight hours into your morning. So the morning conditions, we'll start to see batches of light snow, periods at time. Not a lot of heavy snow, lofted snow, blowing snow. This snow will drift over road surfaces. Your tires are going to smack that snow down on the road surface, compress it, warm it, melt it, and then it refreezes. So we're anticipating some mighty icy conditions. Now, with the winds from the north being gusty at times through your morning. This is your morning commute time. Passing showers of snow, gusty north winds. The winds will be strongest right here in the valley. Notice the wider isobars here in eastern North Dakota. That will not last as we head through the afternoon hours. So here we go as we put this into motion and continue with the forecast as we go through the mid-morning hours and into midday. This is noon. Very, very gusty winds midday here in the Red River Valley, western Minnesota. Some of us will again see those gusts approaching 50 miles per hour. And then late in the day, the high pressure center starts pushing its way into the west. Winds decrease from west to east into the valley as we head into the evening. This is dinner time at about 7 o'clock. And then as we continue this on for you, you'll see that the wind will gradually decrease here in the Red River Valley as we go towards 10 o'clock here and then off into the overnight hours into Minnesota. Another batch of some snow shower activity in the Big Sky Country of Montana. If you're watching from Scobie, Plentywood, those areas, you'll have another chance of some snowy weather as a warm front pushes back in to warm things back up in your neck of the woods. But for much of North Dakota, falling temperatures throughout your day on Wednesday. Here's the latest on this particular model and its rendition on how much snowfall might happen. We're not expecting lofty amounts of falling snow. However, we may see some isolated bands. You see that narrow little band? So in a system like this, we could see a narrow band where this north wind is butting up against the milder air off to the west, and that's going to cause a little bit of an enhancement of snow in isolated areas. This could be either side, but in those enhanced areas, we could see an inch, maybe 2 inches of snow in some of these places. The greatest risk for any accumulation of snow as we go through the day on Wednesday. Look at this. Downwind from Lake of the Woods, downwind from Rainy Lake, all along northern Minnesota and the Arrowhead of Minnesota as well. Look at northern parts of Wisconsin out here, not far from the Apostle Islands and heading up into the UP of Michigan. Ridiculous snowfall amounts there that could be over 6 to 8 inches of snow. That's why they have a winter storm warning. Winter storm warning on the North Shore. The elevated terrain there will enhance snowfall totals. Not a lot of snowfall, but still the concern is for some terrible travel conditions. See if we have any questions here. Clarine, I hope I answered your Bemidji question here. We're not expecting a lot of snow, up to around an inch of snow, but the winds, even in the trees of Bemidji, will be gusting over 30 miles per hour. A lot of trees, that will help slow down some of your winds, but we're expecting to get some pretty terrible travel conditions still with plummeting temperatures. Minot, take a look at your map here, Brenda, as we look out towards Minot. It will be gusty, but your wind will end first. There'll be a dash of snowflakes here and there. There will be some areas that could have some snow that blows across the area, but because your temperatures were much, much warmer than those here in the Red River Valley today, maybe some of that snow that was light, fluffy, and powdery has really muddled down a little bit. Do you think there's a chance for late school to start tomorrow? Laura, I'm going to leave that up to the experts. A lot of them really weigh the impacts of what things are looking like first thing in the morning. So they'll make those calls. I think there is a possibility that there could be some delayed travel. I'll show you some road conditions here in a minute. Hi, Tiffany from Comstock. Thanks so much for sharing all your photos. Sisseton. You know how that wind gets in and around the Sisseton Hills? First of all, it's funneled through the Red River Valley, and then it hits those Sisseton Hills coming down. So yeah, we're going to get some ridiculous winds off of that area. And as temperatures fall, I do think you're in line for some mighty slippery road conditions at the very least. All right, that takes a look at that. The Bakken oil field fail of the day. Hey, good to have you on board. Thank you for watching. I get a chuckle out of some of your posts. I'm not laughing at somebody's misfortune, or am I? I got to tell you, though, some of those shots are just pretty incredible. I'm glad you're watching. Thanks so much. Okay, let's see. You're welcome, Karen. A couple other, Georgetown, Minnesota. So yeah, Highway 75 here. We'll have bands or periods of light snow, but the wind is going to be ridiculous. Think of it this way. The wind is coming out of the north. So if you're driving on a north-south roadway like I-29, and if you're on a Highway 75, for instance, running north-south 83 through central parts of North Dakota, there's less impact. There's a tailwind or a headwind for you. You'll still have some reduced visibility. Some of the iciest roads are often found when we get that crosswind, where the wind is blowing snow across the roads. So we're talking about Highway 2, Interstate 29, and our east-west oriented roads having the best chance at seeing some of those early signs of icing. How about Bagley? Same thing. Just talking about that right now, Kristen. Thank you for asking. Kathy, I hate icy roads too. So I want you to weigh some of your preferences when it comes to driving. and basically make some calls on whether or not you want to go. Hutch never tells you what to do. That's not my job. My job is to tell you, for those of us who don't mind driving on a little bit of icy roads or from time to time having reduced visibility, just go really slow, be cautious, and have a survival kit in your vehicle. Otherwise, if you don't like driving in this mess, just stay home and consider changing your plans, and then leave it up to the experts as far as when things get canceled. I cannot answer whether flights are going to be delayed, but what I can tell you is that if the runways get a little bit icy or there's problems with icing, then that's something that could slow down some air travel. We can take off in winds. We can take off in a lot of winds. However, the problem can be that ice. So we'll keep you up to date with that. Sleet coming down, 745 Grand Rapids. Okay, let's go around and show what's going on. And if you have a report to share, please share it with everybody here on this comment, and then you can share your uploads at hutchesweather.com. Check out these photos. I want to talk a little bit about this ice that's being reported. I got just recently an incredible photo uploaded that was really uploaded to one of my Facebook posts, but I had to share it with you. Check this out. Park Rapids, Minnesota. It's raining in December, and there is a rainbow to prove it. Now, rainbows happen when the observer has the sun at their back. So think of a sunlight behind your back shining on the rain shaft in front of you. And those raindrops, the sunlight enters, reflects off the back of the raindrop back towards our eyes. When the sunlight goes into the raindrop, the speed of light is slowed, and it causes the white light to be broken up into all its Roy G. Biv colors. And that's where we get the rainbow from. That means there must have been water drops in the sky over Park Rapids, and that is impressive. Temperatures were below freezing in Park Rapids when this was taken at the ground, but up above us, there was rain, melted ice. So the clouds that have ice and snow in them had a warm layer below them, and that causes the snowflakes to rent. Sandy, thanks for asking about the stars. You can place stars on any of my posts that are not live. I do not know why Facebook has an issue here with the live ones. They are not working right now. I'm working with them to try to get it resolved. So thank you so much. Adrian, North Dakota. Yep, Fergus Falls during the day, question mark, at least. Basically, all of us are going to have very windy conditions. Periods of light snow, blowing and lofted snow into the atmosphere will reduce visibility, particularly in open roads. So that's a look at that. Okay, that takes a look at a lot of the questions now. And again, you can upload your photos. One of the impressive things I think is lovely about this photo that's shared by Susan Simon, thank you so very much, Park Rapids, Minnesota. Look at the road surface here. You can see the snow piled up on the side of the roads and a rainbow. Not something we often see in December, although it's not unheard of. It is certainly impressive. So again, if you get the opportunity to head over to hutchesweather.com, you too can peruse these pictures, but also I encourage you to upload your very own with reports of what you're seeing. Here's another one by Shevlin today. This photo shows another, it almost looks like a light pillar, but by golly, that there is a rainbow. Sharon is sharing this photo here of another December rainbow over the snowy fields of northern Minnesota. Shevlin along Highway 2. Okay, thank you very, very much to those of you who have contributed pictures. If you have more, please consider giving them an upload here. By the way, while we're here, I'll take a minute and then we'll get right into more details on this snowfall forecast, but you just saw the latest on that. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on now and what we have ahead in the future as Hutch looks ahead. Number one, on Hutch's Weather at the top page, my web developer, Joe, is the bomb diggity, and he has put up here road conditions. If you click on the road conditions tab, we have efforted to make links to all of our regional state DOT maps so you can get the very latest. I encourage you to get the latest before you go, and I want Hutch's Weather to be your source. So bookmark hutchesweather.com today. And by the way, did you get an email today? Answer in the comments. Did you receive an email from Hutch today that tapped you on the shoulder and said, hey, we have a winter storm watch? I sent an email to those of you on Hutch's Weather, on hutchesweather.com, right at the top up here. You can subscribe by entering your email and sign up for these emails right on hutchesweather.com. Here it is, right at the bottom of the radar. You'll see it right here. Get emails from Hutch. I want to see your email address in here. I will not spam you. I will not overuse it. This is the first time I've used it in some time. I think I've done it, sent emails out maybe 7 times. since this website was launched in July. It's not overused, and I'm not selling your information. So that is a look at what's going on. But again, if you sign up for the emails when it matters most, I'm going to tap you on the shoulder and let you know when things are getting bad. Also, this site will let you know when I'm live. All of my recent videos are on here. Some of these videos are in small digestible chunks rather than the live versions here, but the live is on there right now, and you can see that as well. As you go down the page just a little bit more, a little reminder for you. If you have a kid who is fascinated by weather like Hutch was and is, you can click on this button and become a Hutch's Weather Kid. Click on it, sign up right here, or go into Loot or Family for it and sign up right there in the showroom. That's where we perform Hutch's Weather Kits, right on the showroom floor. It's outstanding. So I got to tell you, that's a little bit of a dance around Hutch's weather, but thank you so much for visiting the site and providing your input. Ashley, Devil's Lake, I got a report from up there that things weren't too bad. Let's take a look right now at what's going on across our region by looking at our radar. First and foremost, we're going to pop up a look at the latest radar display. The radar will show us where it's raining, sleeting, snowing, or hailing. And one thing we're noticing is most of the precipitous precipitation is happening right now downwind from Lake Superior. We've got a batch of snow in northern Wisconsin near Duluth and the northern range. And look at this. We got a snowfall report right here. Let me put this pencil on here so I could see. That's a 2-inch report up there in Finland, Minnesota, that is. So as we take a look, again, most of the main snow event with this weather making system is well off to the east towards Thunder Bay. A little bit of snow shower activity showing up on Interstate 94 right now. It's not a significant amount of snow, but there is some present there at this particular time. And speaking of road conditions, let's take a quick peek at your road reports here for your evening before we get going. On the road reports for North Dakota, I'm showing that we do have some areas of ice. Icy roads are showing or displaying in yellow. That does include some north-south oriented roads here that are taking on some slippery conditions, as temperatures right now aren't too bad, but we do have some snow-covered roads in purple, icy roads here and there across the valley, including in different zones in southeast North Dakota. We do have some areas in central North Dakota with icy roads. South of McCluskey, we're getting a report in Sheridan County of some icy roads as well. And again, we did have some patchy freezing drizzle, as Hutch told you last night, so it's something to keep in mind that there could be, with our cold road surfaces, some very slippery and slickery conditions out there, and we do not want you in the ditch, so make sure you're slowing things down. That's a look at North Dakota. In Minnesota now, let's take a quick peek at that, because we did see the radar showing a little bit of snow. I want to point out two things. Thing number one, in the northwest corner of the state, we do have some blue roads. That says wet. I think our roads are slippery. Okay, the wet roads, temperatures are freezing, and we do have that chance to see some icy conditions on these roads. Park Rapids, with all of your photos in and around the area, and here's the Highway 2 Brooks area. Let's take a look at that, as well as the well, we can get really close to Bemidji here. Let me see if I can find that over here. There's Cass Lake. There's Bemidji. So here we're going to look at Solway. This is where we had the rainbows showing up that you saw between here and Park Rapids. And you can see that those roads are pretty damp looking and wet. It looks like we just had a little deer wandering across the road right there as well. It's that time of year as well. So keep that in mind. And as we look out towards St. Cloud on Interstate 94, where there is some snow showing up on the radar right now, as we go into the Highway 10 corridor here it is. Let's go down Highway 10 corridor. This is going to be close to Motley, Staples Motley. The roads look wet. I don't see a lot of new or fresh falling snow in Motley, but as we go down towards St. Cloud, where the radar was showing some on Interstate 94, let's go ahead and look at Avon. And it does look like, well, there are some truck tracks showing up there on the road surfaces. Now, where we definitely have snow going on and inclement roads, see the pinks up here in the Arrowhead of Minnesota? That's where things are the worst. That's where we do have sticky road conditions. Grand Rapids, the snow is flying up there, as a matter of fact. It is accumulating on the road surface. And as we get out a little bit farther to the east here, as we go out into the Arrowhead, where we did get the 2-inch report. This is a look at the flakes of flying there near Schrader. This is milepost 79 on Highway 61, Minnesota 61. So wintry weather conditions in the Arrowhead of Minnesota. Remember, know before you go at hutchesweather.com. You can get all of these area road reports. Do exactly what I'm doing here, perusing your route, looking at the road conditions by looking at the colors, and then even looking at some camera displays here to see what's going on. All right, let's see. You're welcome for the update. Thank you very much for your questions as well. Let's take a quick peek at Hutch's weather forecast. Let's go right back to this. Here is a look at your conditions right now. Winter storm watch. We'll watch for that to be updated to warnings in a few places. I think some of the greatest winds are going to be in the James River Valley and here in the Red River Valley with the isobars that we just saw on the map. Also, new falling snow is going to be more likely on the Minnesota side of the river than on the North Dakota side of the river. You'll be closer to the low pressure center here and to the surges of cold air coming down through as well. So my thought is some of the worst wind conditions will be in the tree-free areas of the I-29 corridor in the Red River Valley. And anywhere in open country on east-west routes and north-south routes, we're going to have some pretty terrible and icy road and travel conditions. So that's a look at that. Now let's get down to business and take a look at your forecast. All right, sorry for the delay in that, but I just wanted to answer your questions as we're going along. All right, let me pull up my digits here for you so you can see a couple of things to keep in mind. Thing number one, these are the headlines. There's going to be gusty winds to 50 miles per hour. That's going to kick up snow. So we'll have light snow accumulation. Only isolated places will see more than an inch. Lofted and blowing snow, or BS, is going to be out there. And many of you agree that that's going to be BS. Areas of zero visibility will be likely. That's near blizzard. Not lizard, but blizzard conditions. Check hutchesweather.com for the latest in road reports and your interactive radar. So that's a look at the headlines. Here is a look at what we're expecting to go on as we head through the overnight hours. North winds, temperatures in the single digits at 7 a.m. A snapshot showing we're going to have very windy conditions. Not a lot of new snow up north, but there has been some snow up near the Botno Hills, Walhalla. As you go up into the Cavalier County and Cavalier area, we're going to see some serious snow picked up and lofted around with these gusty winds. James River Valley, same thing goes for you. You're going to have some snow showers at best, but the main problem is going to be from the gusty winds icing up the roads. Morning temperatures will be below freezing as the north winds take hold. We could gain a few more degrees here before we start seeing the temperatures really start falling. What's going on? Remember that air above us that was warm enough to melt snowflakes into rain, and we got the rainbows showing up? That's going to be mixing down to the ground even into the overnight hours. We could get some 30s down here in southern parts of North Dakota first thing in the morning. Then as we go through the day, the temperatures will fall like a 2-ton heavy thing with lots of bricks on it. And that's going to cause those temperatures to be ridiculously low. And we're also going to see some ridiculously strong winds and icy conditions. Your drive home, 4 o'clock, a snapshot of your weather showing temperatures near zero on the international border. Wind chills up there will be around 20 below with 51 mile per hour gusts at times. I think right here in the Red River Valley and Cheyenne and James River Valleys is where we're going to see some of the most redonky-donk winds moving through the afternoon. That does include our Red River Valley counties of Minnesota. I also am thinking that in Minnesota, even with the trees, we're going to have some blowing snow that causes some travel difficulties because our wet roads are going to kind of flash freeze out there, and that's going to make for some seriously icy conditions. So temperatures, pick your spot, single digits for most in the afternoon hours. We'll see some sub-zero readings along the international border as that cold air takes hold, folks. And then Thursday morning will be the coldest. As the wind begins to decrease, we'll still have a few 20 mile per hour winds. A few gusts may be kissing 40 miles per hour in our eastern counties. We'll have wind chills near 15 to 25 degrees below zero here in eastern North Dakota, central North Dakota, and western Minnesota. Look at the wind chills even along the I-94 corridor. That reminds Hutch. If you're traveling, it's a must-have a survival kit with you. Please make sure you have one. If you do not have one, make sure that you take a look at what you should have in one. Let me see. I've compiled a little list here for you, and you can take a look at that right now while I tell you that these wind chills will be cold enough in some areas to cause exposed skin, like on your hand, to freeze. in 15 to 30 minutes. So that's frostbite. So we don't want anybody getting frostbitten out there. And that means cover your ears. Those earlobes and those extremities are the first to get super duper cold. You need these things in your car for a solid survival kit in your car. Now, you could be stranded like this person here is on the side of the road, and you might just need to get unstuck. If your car's running, that's great, but sometimes our cars run out of gas or we have problems and the engine stops running. If you have that happen and it's 20 below outside, the occupants of the car can get cold real fast. You need blankets, gloves, mittens for everybody. Lighters and candles will be helpful in helping you stay warm in a situation like I just mentioned. But if you are burning candles in your car, crack these windows just a little bit to allow that carbon monoxide to escape. That is a look at that, though. Again, some sand in a bucket can help you get the tires unstuck. You'll want your shovel. You want your cell phone fully charged. You want to let people know what your route is and when they should expect you, so that help can be called. If you take medications, it's good to have those in there. Have a little bit of food. I like the non-perishables. I throw cans of nuts, or here's my me walnuts that I usually keep in the car, something that lasts for a long time and you only need to swap out about every year or so. So that's a nice little list. Do you have something you'd like to put in your list? Well, make sure that you put a note here. Thanks, Cheryl. I appreciate you listening. How about early flights out? Dory, I think early flights are going to be okay. However, I can't make that call. That's up to the airport. Check Hector International flights out. Check your Grand Forks flights out. Make sure. Yeah, Jason, those walnuts are kind of nice, and they have a lot of, what do you call that? Omega-3s. They're really good for you, I guess. So just so happens I like them. I like them on ice cream. I like them in pie. I like them just about anywhere. Kind of like what you hear. Some people just like those things at any time, anywhere. Okay, now let's take a look at what we have going on with regards to your forecast. And now we're going to take a look at this. Where to go? Okay, here we go. So, your Thursday morning, we looked at that. Here's a look at your 7-day planner. All right, temperatures overnight are going to be 31 and falling in Fargo down to 8 by the time you're driving home. So that's why I have these numbers, what looks like backwards. I want this to read like a book for you. Morning, 31 or near 30, falling all day. 8 will be the afternoon temperature. 50-mile-an-hour gusts, very icy conditions, snow and wind. Not a lot of snow accumulation, though. We're on our way down to 4 below for an air temperature on Thursday morning, but wind chills closer to 20 to 25 degrees below zero. A balmy 7-degree high on Thursday as the wind should be exiting. South winds take hold on Friday, and Alberta Clipper will pass our northern counties, bringing a chance of snow only to our northern counties the way it looks right now. Denise, thank you so much for your kind words. Now, as we look at Saturday, here we go. This is the next system that I'm watching for you, and I'll have an update for you. You can check out a little bit later, but whoo-wee, I must say, Saturday, we're going to have a nice day. Temperatures warm to the 30s. Then by Sunday night, we're going to have two systems working together, kind of a double-barreled system. One low-pressure center develops in Alberta, an Alberta Clipper. That impacts us first in our northern counties on Sunday. That Alberta Clipper will come with some wind and some mixed precipitation because we warm up so much. Just like today, I'll probably get more pictures of rainbows in December. And then falling temperatures as we go through the overnight as a Colorado low comes up from the south. That one looks to be promising for some snowfall in Minnesota. It could be strong. Even in North Dakota, we could see strong snow potential. In fact, I put on this, and I don't say this all the time, but a potential winter storm for the northern plains looks to be more likely than it was the past couple of days because models are agreeing on it a little bit more. So I'll keep you apprised to that. The snowfall amounts could be significant. Travel could be impacted Sunday night and into Monday. Hutch will keep you up to date with the latest on that. All right, let's see. Any more? All right, we do. Capri Sun doesn't freeze so quickly, says Amber. That's good. Better than bottled water. So those are some wonderful ideas. What do you put in your survival kits? This is fun to see. Put a comment in there. Jessica says, I keep missing you when you're live. That's okay. Watch the replay for me. And you know what? Every one of you that passed the good, fine word that Hutch is here doing the weather, I couldn't appreciate you any more on this holiday season and this just past Thanksgiving. I give a lot of thanks to you. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching Hutch's weather, for passing the word on that I'm here helping folks out, continuing to do what I love. And it's because of you and because of my fine sponsors that I have that ability to keep doing what I love. Again, hutchesweather.com is a great place for you to go to get all your weather details when it comes to what's going on first thing in the morning. I will be back with updates, but I want to let you know, here's your radar. In a system like this, the radar may not be picking up all the snow that we're seeing out there or what's blowing around out there. And for that, I will keep you posted with regular updates. We've added links to your road conditions right here, all of them. We've added links right here to snowfall amounts that you can take a look at across the nation. Thanks to my friends at the National Weather Service for accumulating so much wonderful data on that. Now, one quick last look at what we have going on. But again, thanks to all my fine sponsors here on Hutch's top line sponsors of the website. Each and every one of these companies have supported Hutch in my efforts to bring you the information you're seeing here. So if you need any of these services, including my friends here at State Farm, this is my good friend, David Eggers. I personally can vouch for his attention to detail and personal service from his operation here in Moorhead. David Eggers, State Farm agent. Give him a call if you need a quote for anything from a young driver like I have or whatever you may need, home or life. Give him a call. All right, that's a look at Hutch's weather for tonight. Wild weather will be ensuing shortly. The winds should be picking up. We'll have periods of light snow. We'll have blowing snow. We'll have very icy roads. Meet us and greet us first thing in the morning. We'll keep you ahead of the game right here. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and change those travel plans if you're not comfortable driving in what could be some pretty wild weather.